Uh-oh, things are getting out of control in the basement again. Gotta clean up this mess. We got that's the tailstock from the new lathe acquisition, the Vernon. That's a heavy sucker. That's one of the chucks. And all this stuff, see over here, this is all stuff that was in the cabinet that came with the Wells Index mill. So in an effort to organize things, I got that cabinet down here and in position. And it's actually a pretty decent cabinet. It's a coal steel, made in the USA cabinet. So it's good quality. It's just kind of, it was banged up pretty bad, probably from, looks like maybe occasionally getting banged into by a forklift or something. I don't know. But I pounded it out and straightened it out pretty well. So the doors work pretty decent. One of these deals where you kind of see the bottom doesn't want to go in there, so you got to kind of give it one of these. Oh, see, it doesn't line up either, so do one of these little tricks there, and voila! Hey, it's just a bonus, really. I mean, I bought the cabinet for the contents, but sure, I'm gonna take the cabinet. And there was some stuff I took off of there. This is interesting. Well, this is nice, handy. Fractions, decimals, millimeters conversion chart. And then this over here, I just left it on there because I thought it was kind of interesting. Symbols, geometric characteristics, and modifying per the ANSI Y14.5 standard of 1973. Geometric characteristics. The symbol and its meaning. So apparently this is maybe on mechanical drawings given to various people when they need to build something. And these are symbols that must have been used by the engineers to let them know what they meant. So because of my plumbing up there and everything, I moved the cabinet over here, and I thought I had a pretty good setup, and then put the drill press over there, my Delta drill press over there so it would be out of the way. And then I realized, you know, I think I want to use one of my bank teller cabinets that I've got here, right in this area right here between the sink and the side of the cabinet here, and it doesn't quite fit, so I'm going to have to move this over just a little bit. There, that's better, I think. I've got the pipes behind there, so I can't push it back any further, but I can live with that. That gives me a nice little table right next to the sink there for things like my hand cleaner. So I haven't adjusted the shelving inside this cabinet since I got it, and that's pretty much how it was when I got it. And got some nice little wooden trays. Got a few of them here with dividers in them, and they're kind of nice. They're felt lined, almost like the drawers in a machinist toolbox, but these, to me, they look like they're completely just homemade, something that somebody put together with some scrap wood. They've got some age to them, but they're by no means antiques in the sense of collectible. But I think I'm going to keep them and put them back on those shelves. Alright, so I just need to, I'm looking at it, I'm going to vac those out before I start putting things in them. Alright, I cleaned out my drawers and put them on there. This one was a little tricky. I think I gotta come up with a better way to grab out this, but what's nice about this one, it's a little harder to clean because of the compartments, but it's nice. It's got all these little compartments here, so it'd be nice, I think, to put like end mills maybe in. So, we'll see. So amongst the items that were buried, and I didn't see right away, was this Procunier tapping, high-speed tapping attachment. And I haven't tried it out yet, but other than to just manually rotate it and see, and it does seem to shift as it's supposed to. And for those of you who haven't seen one of these work, basically this gets chucked in your mill or your drill press. You put your tap in there, and it turns in one direction as you're going down, and then when you lift up on the spindle, it automatically reverses direction and backs back out. So that's how that's supposed to work, and it did seem like it's working, so that's a nice little find. Another little interesting item, the Senko Learner Lab Jack. Basically this is a scissor jack type of platform, and not quite sure what you would use this for, but you know, I checked on eBay, and you can get you know, 20 or 30 bucks for one of these. So you know, I might just end up selling that, just because, you know, get a little money back for what I paid for everything. It's a kind of a neat little thing, but I don't know if anybody's got a suggestion as to what you might use that for. But I really don't think it's for the machine shop. I think it's, you know, it says lab jack. So now this I was excited to see in the back of the cabinet, and I definitely factored this in when I was making my decision on what to offer. I believe this is called a collet index, and I think the purpose of this thing is, I think that you can actually put a collet in here, which I already checked, and it appears that the R8 collets that fit the index mill fit in here, and then they would thread in to there. Okay, and then you thread that in, and then there's a plate here and a pin, and you actually can pull this pin, I believe, and rotate this plate, and it's like an index plate. I think the idea is that you would have the ability to maybe actually cut a gear on this, I'm not sure. But the idea is that you'd be able to have something mounted in the collet and then keep it at a very fixed position and rotate it a very specific amount, for lack of a better explanation. Unfortunately, there's no manufacturer's name on this, so I can't really look it up that way. Oh, wait a minute. No, there you go. Taiwan. So we know it's a cheapie, but so you got this disc here, has numbers going all the way around it, and you've got all these numbers up here. You've got this pin you can unscrew, and then apparently when you take this pin out, you can reinsert it in a different hole, and then the pin, I think, threads into actually these holes on the front here. But what's weird is I took the pin out, I can't rotate this. It almost seems like maybe this collar right here has to be unlocked before this will turn. But well, worry about that some other time. But you know, I don't know what one of those cost. Even a cheap Taiwan one is probably, you know, I don't know, 100 bucks. So I'm happy. Here's a whole group of stuff. These all have the R8 shank on them, so these all definitely fit the mill. This appears like it's for maybe some sort of a cutter or disc to attach to. And then there's a couple of these. There's this style here, and then I got another one right here. It's almost identical, but then I realized that, well, this one says 3/4 inch, and this one actually this one says 1/2 inch. And you can see that, so it's that arbor right there, that's 1/2 inch, and that's 3/4 inch. So I don't know if like little round cutters go on that or not. And then that one looks like it might be same size as that one. And then there's a big one here. Look at this sucker. This is looks like it's 1.25 inches, maybe. Big one. And then here's another one. And then we got this. This looks like a regular old end mill holder. And then there's this one. Now this one's interesting. It's got, probably not supposed to drop those. Alright, so what I was saying was this one's just got like the slitting saw on it right now. But I mean, it seems odd to me that this big heavy beast of a holder is just holding this little slitting saw. So I think this actually has multiple uses. It's got this hole. It's funny because if that slitting saw wasn't on the end there, and this part where my thumb is, if that wasn't there, I'd say, oh, that looks like a boring head. It's even got a hole in the side here, but it's a threaded hole. So I don't know what the deal is with that. So maybe I can look this up, because this one clearly is marked ETM holding tools. And then it's got this plug on the side here, which I think I could unscrew. But I don't know what that's holding, really. I mean, oh, I guess maybe that's holding. Oh, okay, I see. This piece here that I'm touching with my finger, I don't think that came with the tool. I think that was a part that maybe somebody made to hold the slitting saw, and then, so this probably, when you loosen this nut right here, you could probably take this out of the holding tool, and then I guess you could put something really big. Boy, I guess you could put a hell of a big mill in there. And then there's this, looks like it's just a little homemade thing he made to hold, he's got some sandpaper on there or something. Almost seems like, yeah, I guess it's sandpaper. And it's held on there with tape? No, this is a gear. This is a gear that it looks like he repurposed into a sanding disc. So he's got tape here on the edges here, I guess maybe because he didn't want those spinning teeth to catch his fingers. I don't know. It's interesting, but I can see the teeth on it right there. It's a gear. Alright, and also I've got, here's another end mill holder, and there was an Allen wrench in there that fits this end mill holder. In fact, there was a big end mill in here. I took it out just to keep it from getting all buggered up while I had it in the buckets of stuff. But that's a good size end mill holder there. And then there's another holder. This looks like a an arbor for holding like a saw blade or something. Well, it's got the R8 collet on it. Well, it's too tight for me to unscrew it by hand, but this nut on the end here comes off, and then I think these might be actually separate. Can't tell if those are separate pieces or not. It's an interesting bit of tooling. Then there's this thing. This thing looks like it was abused. This is just a hunk of steel, I think, that somebody made. But it's interesting because it's got this very commercial looking end that screws into it. So again, I think a large cutter would go on this. And then, see, that looks like that was inserted something, and then a nut locked down on it. I'm wondering if that would fit in that big holder, that EMT holder or ETM holder or whatever that was. I mean, that's a monster. I don't know what goes on that.